There's a shop in Thistlebend that no one talks about, tucked between the butcher and a boarded-up bakery, with lace-curtained windows and a faded sign that reads, "The Porcelain Soul." It's the kind of place that feels like it's been waiting. Not for business, but for you. When I moved to Thistlebend to live with my aunt, I didn't think much of it. She barely spoke to me, just muttered about tea and garden pests. So I wondered. I drew. Drawing always gave me something to hold on to. Shapes make sense, people don't. That's how I met Liddy. She was younger than me. Liked crayons more than charcoal. We sat under the same tree every day, sketching shadows and clouds. She showed me a picture she'd drawn of a crooked staircase inside a tower. I told her it looked like something out of a nightmare. She just smiled. 2 days later, Liddy vanished. They said she wandered off, that maybe she'd gone to visit cousins out of town. But when I passed the Porcelain Soul, there she was, not Liddy. A doll. Same pink cardigan, same green ribbon, same eyes. Frozen, porcelain, and nestled in her lap, her sketchbook. I stared at that doll for a long time. I don't know what I was waiting for. Maybe proof I wasn't losing my mind. Maybe a blink, a breath. What I got was worse. The doll tilted her head, only slightly, like a twitch, like she was still alive in there. I didn't tell anyone. I knew what they'd say. I'd heard the whispers before. So I started watching the shop. No one ever came out. Sometimes the door creaked open, even without a customer. And late at night, I heard music. Not from a radio. Music. Box music. Sweet, slow, slightly off. I began drawing the dolls, not like toys, like prisoners, trapped behind glass, screaming without mouths. The more I drew, the less control I had. My hand moved on its own. My pencil felt hot, the paper soft. And one night, I heard a whisper in my own voice. Draw, her cage. I started researching. Not online. Thistlebend is too old for that. In a water-stained book at the town's archive, I found her name, Elsbeth Verrell. She was 13 when the fever took her family, but instead of grieving, she made a decision. She didn't want to feel sorrow, or loss, or pain. So she found a spell, and she used it to cut those parts out, literally. She sketched her own soul into a vessel and locked it away. The cost? She could only feel again by taking what others wouldn't give. She didn't want to preserve what she loved. She wanted to keep what made others human. Children are perfect for that. So full of light. So easy to lull to sleep with soft words and porcelain smiles. She lures them with kindness. And when they sleep, she whispers, and then they wake up hollow. I had one shot. I brought my sketchbook and waited until nightfall. The shop let me in. It always knows who's ready. Inside, the shelves stretched, farther than they should. Dozens, no, hundreds of dolls, all staring, all watching. And at the far end, Elsbeth. She looked 16. She hadn't aged in a century, porcelain skin without a single crack, eyes the colour of washed-out glass, and a voice like something behind velvet curtains. "You've drawn me, haven't you?" she said. I nodded. She smiled. "Will you give it to me? Your hands, your talent, your voice?" I shook my head. "No. Shame," she said. "You'd make a beautiful doll." I opened the sketchbook. The final page was already drawn. I didn't remember doing it, but it was her. Elsbeth, crumbling, hair like wire. Hands twisted, her eyes stitched shut, thorns binding her limbs, And around her dozens of faces, watching. Their mouths were open. They were screaming. Elsbeth laughed. "You think art can hold me?" I stepped back, let the page breathe. "I don't think," I said. "I know." She chuckled and touched the sketch. And then, her fingers cracked. Not bone, not skin, ceramic. She stumbled, reached for me, but her limbs jerked stiffly. And then, she shattered, into dust and silence. I burned the remains, not the sketch. That went into an iron frame, sealed with wax and salt, buried beneath the attic floor. And now, I draw. But not for fun. I draw to free them. One by one. The dolls return to faces I almost forgot. But some won't. Some are too far gone. And some whisper back. Sometimes, when I'm alone in the attic, I hear something shifting beneath the boards. A laugh, soft and slow, like a broken lullaby. And I wonder, what happens if someone sketches me?